What's going on, guys? I'm Andrew, and today let's talk about possibly one of the biggest topics tossed around the MLS community, and that is promotion and relegation. As many of you know, or for those of you who don't, there are three professional soccer leagues in America. There is the MLS, the NASL, and USL. So if there was a relegation concept in place, the MLS would be the first division, the NASL would be the second division, and the USL would be the third division. So of course there are lots of pros and cons of this concept if it were to be in place in the MLS, but I'm just going to talk about the pros because I'm doing a split video. I'm going to do the pros, and my fellow YouTuber, AHMAS, so you should check out his channel, he's going to be doing the cons, and I will leave a link down in the description box for you to go check out his second half to this video, basically. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So one of the big pros to a relegation promotion concept being in place would be the threat of being relegated to a lower league that would make, or at least it should make, the club's owners, investors, sponsors, and anyone else included in that board or who is related to the board, whatever, it would make them really care about their team's results and how the team is actually doing. It could push them to invest more money in the team, to acquire players that they need to help them survive the drop, or in fact help them stay ahead of the pack and, stay way ahead of the drop zone. A lot of people think that if the MLS did have a promotion relegation, that the investors or the owners would not like it at all because, a lot of them, most of them, really are money hungry. So if their team gets relegated, they would lose a lot of money. But I believe that if they agreed to it, they would actually invest as much money as they could to keep the team from failing and being relegated to the next division. So getting new players brings me to my next pro, which would be the need for better players, basically. So teams who find themselves in the relegation battle or near the end of the table, or teams who know that before the season starts, that they could find themselves in a relegation battle by the time the season ends, it would motivate them basically to go out and find better players who could suit their team to help them avoid the drop, or if they want to be big ballers and go spend Jovinko money and find Jovinko-like players who are not past their best and still got gas left in the tank to help them avoid the drop. That would be great. And them finding big players with big names could also increase revenue for the team itself and the league as a whole, because people are going to want to see big name players play for their team on TV and what was I going to say, live in person. And it could also increase shirt sales. Everyone's going to want let's just say like LAFC, who just signed Carlos Vela. They're all going to want a Carlos Vela shirt because he's probably right now he's the only player, but he could be one of the biggest players on their team. And like more examples are like the Beckham effect. Beckham really helped the league out, and players like right now Jovinko, David Villa, and Kaká all help their team get a little more revenue just because of they are big name players and they do really well for their clubs. So the third pro I have would be the TV ratings could improve, and that's something that the MLS really needs to improve a lot. That's maybe not one of their strongest revenue because it's soccer in America. What do you expect? But with the inclusion of a relegation battle, that really could boost their TV ratings up. They could promote like who will survive, some dumb shit like that. Like it would be lit. Like it would be freaking awesome. In Europe they have, like Europe's big leagues are everywhere. They have like big relegation battles, like who's gonna survive, like who's gonna avoid the drop. Like it could come to the last day of the season, and those are really, really exciting games to watch. Just as exciting as the league title battles, equally exciting or maybe even more exciting. Could you imagine DC United and New England, or LA Galaxy and Colorado going at it to survive, to avoid the drop? Like it would be really great to see like those teams giving everything they got just to stay in the MLS. I think that would be great. It would really help the league out and the sport itself as a whole. So the last pro I have is having the structure in place could bring more fans throughout every division. Casey. My dog. She's been licking herself. I hope you guys didn't hear it the whole time. Anyway, having this structure could bring in more fans throughout every division, all levels of soccer. The idea of battling to get into the MLS, to stay in it, could interest a lot of outside people because a concept like this is not really seen here in America among its bigger sports leagues like NFL or basketball, MLB, NHL, all the big leagues. The increased interest among all divisions of soccer would increase revenue and as well maybe even make soccer one of America's big sports leagues finally. So just real quick, my thoughts on this promotion relegation concept. If the MLS were to adapt something like this, I think it would be a great idea. Maybe not like next year or in 2 years. I think a time frame like 8 to 10 years would be a great idea. I think it would give teams enough time to adapt, their owners to adapt, and prepare, and it would help to give enough time to the MLS to finally have its full structure. It let them have the full amount of teams that they want in their current league, and it would give them time to sort things out and how they would want things to work out. Because I really strongly believe that something like this really could drastically improve the quality and the support for soccer and MLS in the MLS, and eventually, the U.S. men's national team, and maybe one day we'll win a World Cup. But who knows? Well, that's all the pros I got for now. What do you guys think about the pros that I mentioned? And do you agree with them? Do you not agree with them? Do you guys have any pros of yourselves that could help this league if this concept were to be in place? Let me know your thoughts, down below. Let me know down below. And also, don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to check out the other half of this video at AHMAS channel. And I'll leave AHMAS a link down below. Sorry, I couldn't get the word out. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you later.